So here I am. This is typical. I usually sharpen the edges of that turbo plane, the cutter blades, before I dig in and start sculpting. It's allowed me to use that cutter. That's the second one in 10 years. I think I mentioned in the last video. So that's me getting ready to dig in. This is a console table with sculpted, like two matching sculpted base ends with a through tenon stretcher. And here I go. So as I've mentioned before, in this video, the footage, it looks like we're starting out. Well, I've already done the underside, but that's cool. You can kind of see depth and dimension, which on these I went pretty big. I think these are about 5 inches thick, and it's white oak. Not the most pleasant to sculpt, but it's not bad either. I enjoy it, and the look is beautiful. The lighter colors always show more depth and dimension, although this one got dyed black. Anyway, so I'm starting on my edges because that allows me to kind of get an idea for depth and form to move inward on the piece. And it looks like on this one, you can see where I've drawn on it on the sides. The only edge I'm going into, I haven't gotten to yet. So I'm working my way there. I'm kind of just creating like a long vertical channel. And that turbo plane moves through with the white oak pretty quick, but pretty quick is still not instantaneous. But typically what I do is I'm rolling through it in a like vertically through a channel, and then I'm coming back and going against it horizontally, cleaning up those pass marks. And there I am working that edge. But this cutter on the turbo plane that I'm using is capable of doing some pretty nice, clean cuts with no marring. But unfortunately, that's just not how I roll. I go in there to get it done because the sculptural stuff I do is hours and hours on end, sometimes days, and weeks actually on some pieces. But so I'm going in there. I'm not worried about leaving marks. I'm just trying not to like create gutters in these channels that I'm kind of creating. It's really just a visual and physical textural thing. So yeah, so I've worked that edge, and now I'm coming back and kind of getting my shape in there, making sure those lines all kind of are clean, and the curve has got a nice appealing bend to it visually. But it's still rough. The turbo plane is for roughing it out. So here this is further in. I've got the channels grooved out. So now I'm just working on depth. You can see I keep touching it to see if I've got these marks. Cause sometimes the glasses get dusty. You can see right here your phone is not dirty, or your iPad, whatever you're looking at. I'm in a room that is actually lined in acrylic, like plexi. I made it on purpose. I call it the danger room, so everyone calls it. I go in there when it's just time to make a big old mess, and that way the mess isn't all over my entire workspace. It's just in that contained spot. So what happens is that acrylic gathers a lot of dust while I'm in there, and so the view gets a little dirtier and dirtier. I forget sometimes to stop and clean it. But so yeah, at this point, this base, you can see in the very background behind me, the other one's finished and standing up. You see it. It's hard to see the depth on it, that one, but laying down, you really get a visual. But right now, I've switched to a sander. I've already roughed it out with the turbo plane. Then I come back with the Festool RES 115. I call it the Raza Ghul. That's kind of, that tandem has been my go-to for a long time. Between the two, I can get really far along in the piece visually getting to where I need it to be. It's a rotary sander, so it's not a finish sander. It leaves a lot of marks and stuff too, swirls. But, at this stage in it, I don't care. I'm going to clean all that up with other powered sanders and hand sanders or whatever I got to do, scrapers, stuff like that. So in this part of the method or process, I am just creating form. And that sander is unbelievable. I love that thing, and they've discontinued it, so I've got a whole new set of problems because eventually it will die, and I got to find something else. I've already started looking, just trying to be mindful of it from a business model, that this is a very requested style people ask of me, and I will probably be doing it forever, which I'm grateful. I love doing it. But see, you can tell after sanding it, those edges and all the form starts to soften up a good bit. And as usual, I stop and look at it. I put my hands on it. I feel it. Feeling it, a lot of times the lighter woods allows me to kind of know where I got divots and stuff that I can't see. So you'll see me kind of just working my hands over a piece, and it allows me to just kind of get an idea of where I'm good and where I need more work. But yeah, the sander problem. Oh man, I'm already working on it. So we changed viewpoints here, but it's the same thing. I'm just going through and I'm cleaning up all those edges and all of the bigger marring marks I made when I was just pigging out material with the turboplane. I use the turboplane just for going at it. Like I said before, I'm not trying to get a finished look with it. I'm using it for what I think it does best, and that is just removing material by hand quickly in a way that's pretty controlled. Or at least maybe I've just logged so many hours with it that it is now. But yeah, it was pretty quick from the jump. I was comfortable with it really fast. But yeah, the sander is really useful, and you can tell I'm on the edge of it a lot. I wear out pads and stuff. It's a lot of people get on to you like, don't sand like that, you'll burn your pads. I don't care. Like, I'm a professional. It's a business. That's a consumable. They're going to get burned. I need the product done and out. But I mentioned before, this is a piece that is requested a lot. This client loved this piece so much that he actually had me build a second one. And I'm not kidding. For a different space in one of his houses, I think. But yeah, that's how much he loved it. I did 2 of these, and they're beautiful. That's a black India ink dye on white oak. There you go.